All right, we are live. Welcome, everyone.
Yay.
Today we begin
Hello.
session 3 of our GURPS Conan campaign.
Woohoo!
All right, before we start, do we have any business to take care of? Point expenditures, anything like that?
I did go ahead and do the charisma thing for Berenike. I figure even though Nepentius has been retooled somewhat for faceman duties, we still may need a backup, so I did that.
All right, well, as was said prior to the stream, this is session 3, so characters are still flexible. But the beginning of next session, characters will be locked in and no more changes can be made. So if you want to make quick changes, now's the time to do it. As for Kurgan, I guess you could consider yourself cursed in a sense, but it's more a possession than a curse.
So just more put disadvantage possessed with Wendigo spirit.
Yeah, that'll work. We know you're going to change.
Unless Epentius gets a moment of enlightenment and realizes they were possessed.
I think everyone might suspect, or they might have some, the seed has been planted since the spirit entered your body and didn't exit.
Now it's me and Materius, right?
Yep, I'm the other one who got hit.
We're going to start looking at the other guys as edible food soon.
No,
They
it's
are
only
meat popsicles.
it's only been a day in game, right?
Yes, depends on how long you wish to leave it before you head out on your quest across the river.
And I don't think Apentius has the ability to exercise. We're going to go with that sort of non-healing approach.
Right. Well, the players know we can go to the Picts to sort that out, but the characters haven't figured that out yet.
And there will of course be the issue of why would they really want to help you?
Well, that's a separate matter.
Especially when we go to try to wipe out a village.
Maybe you can intimidate them into helping you out. All right, well, if there's no other business, let's begin. Just a quick recap. You guys had gone to Hawk Village. Let me bring up that map. So you guys had gone to Hawk Village, or you were following the trail that led to Hawk Village, and you managed to find one of the missing women, which was Una. You liberated her from the village and then trekked north along the river, along Black River, to Fort Tusculum.
Finally bothered.
I finally bothered. I was trying to find something appropriate, and it was really difficult.
Looks
I
great.
can't tell what that flag is. I think that flag is inappropriate.
The flag is inappropriate, but I muddied it up. It actually has a black dragon on it, but because the resolution's so crap, you can't see it.
Oh.
It looks like a phoenix.
And is that a set of moose horns over the gate?
It may well be. The image is it Fort Wilderness? Is it Disneyland?
Oh.
No, bog moose, very common around these parts.
Could be giant elk.
It's swamp moose.
Just watch out for the albino bog moose. Those things are nasty.
It works.
You then handed over what money you picked up from the remnants of Tiberius's shipment. You took a collection, and I think some of you spent it all in drink that night. If Phil manages to turn up, I guess Boulder pulled himself out of bed and caught up with you guys. You then went... you requested a mission to go across the river to recover the other 2 women. I believe that was the intent, to recover the other 2 women, or at least find out if they're savable. This request was taken to the Governor Valinus, and he authorized it, but requested that you don't start any unnecessary wars. And I think that is about where we left it. Did
Is there a
Apentius
skill
need...
for fast drawing a bow, knocking it faster?
No. You can fast draw the arrow. You can't fast draw the bow. Well, I'm not sure if you can't fast draw bow, but it will take a turn to knock. Though you can do, was it quick ready?
So that was only available for heroic archer.
I think there's a non-cinematic version of quick ready, which is a significant penalty to the skill.
I don't remember if it was considered cinematic or not. I'd have to dig it up.
And it might, from memory, it might have actually said something in non-combat situations you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, how many turns does it normally take to reload the bow?
3.
And fast draw, if you're successful, shaves a second off that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if that's...
So in other words, every 2 turns, I could do it.
Yeah, if that's a more helpful way of understanding it.
No, it's definitely physically possible to do it entirely in 1 round, or actually less than 1 round probably, but there are definitely conditions applied to that, probably not combat conditions.
And it certainly wouldn't be full-strength bows.
Absolutely not.
I think all the quick shoot or quick archers, I guess is what you'd call them. I think they use like really low poundage bows, like 20, 25 pound bows.
I think 35, if we're thinking about Lars Anderson specifically. But never mind that. Right, so we were gonna sleep on it and then get up in the morning and rouse everybody and talk over potential strategies regarding what to do, how to pursue.
Just something that I haven't mentioned, that probably should be mentioned. While these villages here, like Hawk Village, Wolf, Raven, and so on, while on the map there's one village, that's like the primary village for, say, Hawk Tribe.
Mm-hmm.
So there are satellite villages that will be scattered in the general area as well. So that should be kept at the back of your mind when dealing with these villages and stuff. So Hawk Village is like the capital for the Hawk Tribe, but there's like satellite villages around the place.
It might be useful for the GM to mark the point at which the crossing took place.
Okay, so the crossing. Do we have a token for that?
Well, if you have the counters loaded, then you should have all the pins in there.
All right, I can use a pin.
Or you can use an actual pin, a built-in pin, which is not actual.
1, 2. I wish there was an easier way to organize the assets in Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah, we still kind of have a problem with that. Also, it took the better part of a day to get from Hawk to Tusculum, ?
Yes. Because of a really bad navigation roll. What would have got you there in the afternoon saw you getting to Tusculum after dark.
Hey, it was north of us. I got us in the general direction.
That you did.
Is that a pin token?
Not a token. I've actually done it as an image, so it's not clickable and stuff.
Well, you cut it off.
Oh.
That was weird. Whatever. It serves its purpose. Okay, so that crossing took place. Is it on the north or the south bank of the other river there? I don't know what that is.
It is on the. It would have crossed on the north bank of that inflowing river.
Right. So we've then got the better part of the day it would take to get to that crossing point, and then probably another whole day to get to Wolf Village or outlying urbanizations. That's going to take a bit, and it's also going to water down the trail. So having said all that, does anybody have any strategy thoughts or skills for that matter?
I don't know why that's being cut off.
I have stealth, I have tracking, I have survival woodlands, I have observation, camouflage.
Do you have
I mean,
tactics
are we
or
just going to
strategy?
march across? Do I have strategy? No.
Nor do I. Maybe tactics is actually
You can
something I
buy
should pick up, though.
strategy.
Don't we only have one person with tactics?
I has it. Not highly though.
Maybe that's a change I'll make before next week. Add some tactics and strategy and stuff.
Yeah, did you keep the no, you dropped the talent, didn't you?
Born Soldier, yeah.
Well, I think that template normally comes with Born War Leader.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's the one. Yep. It had. Yeah, I did drop that. I might
So
just
I'm
try to
it.
get back in then.
So anybody got anything else we can use to plot this operation?
Well, since we're making changes, being a ranger, probably strategy would make sense.
Strategy, not necessarily. No, strategy is an army level skill, whereas tactics is more small unit. It's kind of up to the GM what applies here, and frankly, I don't think any of them's suggest a specific usage like this.
It does say strategy land, but I don't know if that will. I don't know what's better, strategy or tactics.
Actually,
In your case, it's probably going to be tactics. Tactics is the same as strategy, but it's for unit sizes of 60 people or less. I think that's what mass combat said is the threshold.
well, I just remembered that there actually is a precedent. Planning, big picture, permission to act, mission plan. To make a plan, one party member should roll against a suitable skill: architecture if infiltrating a building, leadership or strategy if commanding an NPC force, streetwise if hitting a rival gang, tactics if the group will be fighting, etc. Details are up to the GM. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, what is this? This is a reconnaissance mission.
I'll go ahead and get tactics at 2 points.
It defaults to IQ -6, and it's an IQ hard skill, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty
Yep.
low.
I got it at 10.
Well,
Okay.
there's a chance.
So never minding what skill might be applied here. Yeah, if this is technically a reconnaissance mission, then observation might be the skill to use here, although it would not be perception based, it would be IQ based. That's the best I can think of.
I have observation at 14, IQ of 11.
Unless the GM thinks soldier could work there.
I'm easy with either.
A soldier of 11.
If it's soldier, we'll be okay, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue in favor of soldier because Reki's part of being a soldier in most situations.
So, we're looking at probably 2 days one way. So 4 days 2 way, assuming nothing weird happens. We need to probably pack for a week. And we need to requisition any sort of gear that we're going to need for that. I can't think of anything we would do, though, aside from provisions. We probably don't need to carry extra water. It's probably going to be a river the whole way there.
Yeah, I think provisioning is going to be the key.
And if we have a plan other than go there, look and see what happens and then react to it, which frankly, I can't think of anything better. Now, we could, so here's a choice that we should probably think about making, and that is whether or not we go to the crossing and then track from there, or if we go straight to the Wolf Village from here, which is probably shorter.
How well do our characters know where Wolf Village is?
You don't. It's an estimate.
Well, then I would say we should go back to where the tracks left off.
That would make sense.
So we're going to have to go as fast as possible because that trail is getting old.
Can we
Take a canoe down the river.
Yeah, I was just going to say, can we do that?
Well, actually, that's not a terrible idea. That would save us a little bit of time, maybe, depending on... Well, yeah, I guess given the nature of it, the current should be in our favor.
Black River is not a fast-flowing river, unlike Thunder River, but you will be going downstream, and if you're paddling as well, your movement should be significantly faster than walking.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. So we could at least see if we can requisition a throwaway boat of some kind.
The fort has canoes which have been donated by Picts.
Mm-hmm.
In quotes.
I kind of figured. What is the capacity on these things? Can we get everybody in one?
No, you could get 2 people comfortably. 3 people would be the upper limit.
Damn, these things are tiny.
I only take up half a seat.
That's true. But Balder takes up
Balder takes
1.5.
up two.
He needs 2 canoes.
When Boulder rides in the canoe, the bow of the boat is out of the water.
He's in the center. He probably has his own canoe. He can't really carry anybody else in it.
Yeah, that's it. So we get 2 canoes for us and then 1 for Balder, and he's lagging behind for some reason.
If you wanted just to load up a canoe so that everyone's in it, you could probably do it, but that would be at the very... there's 4 of you plus a dog.
Yeah, well, those are very small.
My real life experience tells me that, we definitely need at least 2.
I think 2 is probably safe. We can fit Kurgan, Kudo, and Apentius in one, and then Bernike and Materius in the other. And Balder can swim.
Kudo on the front, Apentius in the back. I'm in the middle.
Now for the giant crocodile encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Oh wait, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, it's either that or it's going to be a scene right out of Apocalypse Now. There'll be a spear in somebody's chest.
Okay, so getting some provisions is not a problem. You do have to pay for it.
I would like to attempt to not pay for it.
Then you would have to negotiate with Captain Abris and convince him that you guys are worth the investment.
And remember, Apentius now has diplomacy and fast talk and merchant.
At what level does he have these things?
Diplomacy's 15, fast talk's 15.
Damn. Whew.
And merchant is 14.
All right, is that before or after the voice?
That's the voice cancels out the talker specialty. So that's going to be just a flat roll.
Damn, you got convincing.
I sure did.
Well, you demand then. Yeah, we don't exactly have party
your
funds at the
voice
moment.
is so scratching that that people just don't want to hear it anymore. So they're like, "Okay, here, take it."
That's right. Just get it. Just go away.
All right, so see what you can do about reducing our costs, and we'll figure out how to split it from there. We're going to have to ask about requisitioning those boats as well.
The boats are not a problem, since they were, kind donations.
We'll see if we can bring some back.
Maybe get some people to donate some more on the way back.
Exactly.
It should be noted that that I get a +1 from merchant when buying or selling, and I get a +2 from talker when investigating. When investigators or anybody hiring us to investigate something is involved.
Oh, okay. Right, that's that. I was going to say if you did that in GCA, then it should have computed the talker bonus into that, but that's the skill bonus, not the reaction bonus.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I think it's. Oh no, talker doesn't add to the reaction bonus, but
Right. Yes. Yeah. If
the
someone
merchant will.
recognizes your talent, then that talent is a reaction bonus.
So your plan is to head to talk to Captain Abris and get him to provision you.
To see how much he can reduce the cost by providing some pro bono.
All right. Give me a either a merchant or diplomacy. Merchant is you're bargaining with him. Diplomacy is you're trying to reason with him.
Okay. We're gonna go with diplomacy.
Wow.
Sweet.
I can see we made a good choice here.
You would get bonuses because friendly parties. I think it's +4 for people that are loyal and such.
Don't remember that
So
one.
that would make it a crit.
Is that from basic?
Yeah. I think it's in the social or the influence roles section.
Oh, okay.
Actually, that might only apply to leadership. Either way, the captain will be able to organize provisions for you as long as it's just food and stuff for free.
Okay. Well, we can just go with the basic trail rats for that. That's not a problem.
So the only thing you'll have to do is add the weight. So it's 1.5 pounds per day per person.
So we're going with 7 days unless somebody thinks otherwise, which is going to be times 3, 21.
I wonder if canoe travels. The speed of canoe travels listed in low tech.
We do have canoes somewhere. May actually be in basic though, but I know there's some in low tech. Derp, derp, derp. Where are the vehicles? No, not watercraft. Canoe. Move 2/2, which is not faster than walking, but that may depend on the current.
Well, that would be faster than walking, because walking is 1.
Well, faster than walking, not faster than hiking.
So for the purpose of this, let's say your move will be 6. For the point of working out distance traveled.
Now that's in the basic book. Oh, hey, I happen to be right on that. Double canoe, 30-foot canoe. Yeah, that's a bigger canoe. Move 1/3. Yeah, it's a higher top speed. Have any notes on that? No, I don't see anything.
So in terms of distance you can travel, it'll be, I'm assuming that the river is going to be considered good roads. So it would be 10 times the full move. So that was 6. So you could do 60 miles in the canoe in a day. Your distance traveled is about 12 miles. So that's what, 5. Is the travel time considered 8?
If it's going two miles an hour, maybe 3 if you add the current to it or something. That's going to be 4 hours.
I've got 7.5 miles an hour you will do on a canoe.
So somewhere short of 2 hours.
Yeah. So Abris will get your provisions. He will pay the quartermaster, and you have trail rations. So you've got bread that's not quite stale, cheese that's not quite rock, some jerky,
Perfect.
some fruit that's not quite rotten.
Excellent.
My favorite kind.
I think we're set. Actually, now that I think about that, if we might be able to paddle up the river.
That won't let you track though.
What's the other one? No, it wouldn't let us track. Yeah, we still need to be able to track. But we could probably take the boats with us. Potentially. I guess that depends on where
Well,
they
me
went.
and Kudo can track while you guys,
Yeah.
we can.
We'll judge that when we get there. We'll see what we can actually see. Because if he can't pick up a trail, then we may end up having to just go up the river and see what we see. So yeah, so this is sometime after sunup. Give us an hour to plot this thing, and we could be on our way before noon.
All right, so noon is your departure time.
Well, we could arrive by noon. We'll depart as soon as we can. We are in a hurry. So as soon as we get provisions and boats, we'll pack it up and head off.
All right, so if you've planned it, does anyone actually have the skill to use a canoe?
Probably not.
Nope.
So
No.
boating is a dex average. Paddling a canoe is going to be routine. So
You have to roll once to enter the boat. Boating, Dex -5, IQ -5. Dex it is.
Let's.
you will get +4 because it's routine.
No, that's right. Excellent.
You don't get that if you don't have the skill.
Drat.
What about
Yeah,
soldier? Would soldier count in this?
No.
I will add that from again real life experience, getting into canoe is trickier than you think at times.
Getting into any kind of boat is trickier than I think. Man.
Can I get rolls from the remaining 2?
Yeah, hang on. It's this stupid skill's not working right. Okay. Huh. It won't let me put 0 points in it.
Poor Kudo.
It's weird.
That's weird.
You should
Huh.
be able
I had
to
to
do
actually,
0
I had to
points.
actually put the default in there. I had to put the Dex -5. Whatever.
So when you put dex -5, then it allowed 0?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
What
that
does it
sucks.
say in regards to failed rolls on the boating?
Let me see. Wait, that's probably under the skill. Hold on. So it was
All it
just
says is
180.
to avoid falling in the water. You've got to make that roll.
Make a roll to get underway to dock and whenever you encounter a hazard. If using this skill at default, also roll when you first enter the boat. So it looks like we made a mess
So
of
we all
getting
got
in.
wet.
And there's a bunch of soldiers laughing at us from the fort.
We're not goddamn Marines.
There is some people yelling out to you guys. Shouting insults like, you guys are supposed to be rangers. You can't even get into a boat.
I'm a land
We're not
ranger,
amphibious
not a
troops.
water ranger.
Well, we're not amphibious yet.
You're sure that it's going to take a little while to live that down. If this was in the modern era, there'd be videos circulating on social media right now.
I told you this was the back of the canoe, not the front.
There's at least one instance where Baldur probably steps into the back of one of those boats and chucks Apentius out of it.
Given how difficult you guys have found operating the canoe, are people wearing their armor?
Actually, to be fair, we could probably take extra time on that and actually barely succeed.
Yes, everyone succeeded.
But it still
Good.
didn't look good.
Well, at least we didn't incredibly embarrass ourselves.
But you do have to make further rolls if there's a hazard or something like that.
And that's
Yep.
why we won't get extra time.
Hey, but at least we won't be on eyesight of the fellow troops.
Exactly.
Will people be wearing armor, and can people swim?
Pinchas can swim.
I
and
can swim.
Pinchas has no armor.
Swimming in armor,
Bergen,
you are a penalty equal to twice your encumbrance.
I am gonna guess. I would think the Baron Decay would probably not be wearing armor in the boat.
Nor would Materius.
what about leather?
Yeah, that barely counts.
Well, however it works out, twice your encumbrance. So if your leather takes you into encumbrance level 1, your penalty to swimming would be -2.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm at no encumbrance with the armor on anyway. But still. All right, so after an ignominious start, we get moving.
And just because someone can roll a universe reaction roll to see if there is actually a hazard,
Like a giant crocodile.
like that giant crocodile.
Who's got the duty? Make Paul do it so we can blame him.
I don't have duty. Oh, I have sense of duty individual.
Not that
comrades,
duty.
so I guess I can do it.
I mean, roll the reaction. I was actually going to ask
I'll roll
something,
it.
Brian. Do we still have that ability to do rolls in the Twitch chat?
We do.
I have to remember that that's there.
Let me see if it still works.
Did you want that in the box?
No, that's fine.
Okay. So no giant crocodiles the first hour. What about the second hour? Someone else can roll.
Ah.
Pinchas will roll.
Well, that's the time to roll high.
Okay. Actually, no, that's not it. Where would I have put that? Is there a particular reason that we want to turn on this plugin?
No, I was doing my chapters on the Sea Dogs, and was reminded that we were doing that before, and I meant to ask if that was actually still available.
It should be, unless they've changed the API or anything like that.
Well,
Okay,
it was
here we go.
only
Found it.
2 years ago, 2 or 3.
Chatbot. Bear with me.
Test fire.
I think that worked. Check the chat.
Well,
Yeah,
it doesn't look like it
looks like
actually
it.
rolled.
Well, it didn't roll, but it
Oh,
activated the
you
bot.
didn't roll. Yeah, okay, I see that.
I can't remember the commands.
It has been a while.
There you go. Someone rolled. Oh no, that actually worked. So you do exclamation roll. We'll roll
Oh.
3d6.
I didn't know it had a reaction roll built in.
Yeah, it's working. Awesome.
Well, there you go.
I will leave it up.
Next time we put the chat to work. Right. We have arrived at the crossing, I guess, without incident. Now we have to get out of the boats, which may be an incident.
Nice.
All right, so
Take our
We're taking
time.
extra time. Thank you very much.
so just roll and don't fail by more than 10, or don't fail by more than 5 if you're taking the -5.
Cutting it close there, buddy.
Yep.
Hey, what about Kudo?
Well,
So
you
that's
can,
everyone.
yeah, you can do the math on mine. I forgot to put the -5 in there.
That's all right. So with extra time, everyone manages to get out of the boat, only getting a little bit wet.
But with really sore crotches.
You have
Right,
2
possibly.
canoes. You can pull them up on the bank or take them with you if you're willing to carry the weight.
I think let's see if we can pick up a trail first and see how that goes, and then we'll decide what to do with the boats.
Me and Kudo are gonna start combing the area for tracks.
Okay. Since you're actually trying to identify the tracks of what was the boy, Kudo can assist, but it's Kurgan that has to make the roll. After you have picked up the scent or picked up the trail, then Kudo can be the primary tracker.
So that's +1.
That will be +1, yes.
Vision based.
Correct. Tracking, I think, is vision based by default.
So this is actually going to be at +3 if it doesn't roll right.
Not a problem. You feel that you're in the right area where the boy crossed the river. You search around, and you do indeed find some tracks that are less than a day old.
Tell you what, let's take these boats a little bit further upriver and try to hide them. I think
I have
Kurgan actually had camouflage.
How much time do you want me to take trying to camouflage these?
Yeah, it's not take any longer than we have to, really.
Okay, so take them up. How far do you want them to go? Like just
Just like out of sight of the current, out of sight of the crossing we're at.
and into the woods, just into the woods, right?
Yeah, a little bit maybe. Nothing fancy, just to give us a chance. Ideally, we'll be coming back with a couple more people.
All right. You will conceal your canoes on the bank. I'm assuming you're pulling it up on the bank and taking it into the woods a little ways.
Yes.
And then you will bury it under leaves and branches and stuff. And it appears to be suitably concealed.
Can I try a complimentary roll to help assist with the camouflage?
What sort of roll?
Survival woodlands or naturalist earth?
I'll give you survival as a complimentary.
So succeed by 3.
2.
Oh, it's only +1?
Compliments only 1.
Yeah, succeed by 2. Okay, better than 1.
Same as assists. And you can only have 2 people assist on a task.
Anybody else want to assist?
Actually, I suppose you could have more than 2 people assist, but you can only take the bonuses from 2.
It's probably better I don't.
I don't think there's an actual limit except for logic.
I thought there is actually a hard rule that says only 2 complementary skills.
I don't believe so.
In any case, it was a success. You've hidden the boats, and then you start to track. Your speed is significantly reduced because there does not appear to be any sort of good tracks or trails along here. Every now and then you will get to a spot that you can see that people have frequented a fair bit. It's kind of like a game trail that the locals have also utilized. So what's the encumbrance of, what's the minimum speed of everyone, of the group?
I think the last time we had to check that, Pentius was our bottleneck in that regard.
Let's see. What is my move? I think it's 4. Let me see.
This will be encumbered because you will be hauling all your stuff.
I am medium encumbrance, so I'm move 3.
Yeah, I'm move 3 as well. Lightly encumbered.
So you can travel 30 miles a day. A successful hiking roll will increase that by 10%.
Presume we're not on a good road here.
Your terrain is going to be bad, so 50%.
Would navigation land help?
That's a separate issue. Okay.
What
Well,
did
you're
I
getting off to a
break?
good start.
Does anyone know what a failed hiking roll does?
Isn't it more?
Well, I think in this particular case, it just means we're delayed further. In practice, though, that I would think that means he
Just says
got a
failure.
blister on his foot or something.
Just says failure means you forego the bonus.
Doesn't say anything about crits.
Nothing for crits.
Weird.
Well, it
Success
does
let
say
the entire
you
group
can make one
march
single
20.
hiking roll for the entire group.
It has to have leadership 12 plus, and it has to be the group's a single roll on the group's average hiking skill.
Right. Well, I have leadership at 12, so we've got that covered.
So let's recalculate that based off your hiking skill roll. What is the average of everyone's hiking? So we got 7, 4, 25.
Wonder if you should, I don't think you should include Kudo in that.
Probably not, because he's faster than you anyway.
11, 12, 12, 13, probably average about 12.
Actually, I was mathing it here.
Epictetus and
25,
Meritarius don't even have
32.
hiking.
32 plus 12, 42 plus 8, 50. So 50 divided by 4. Is that right? No.
12 and a half.
Actually, it's 36 divided by 4. Can't include Kudo. So 9 is the average.
That doesn't make any sense. How can the average be lower than the lowest?
So 11 plus 7, 18 plus 12.
Plus 7. No, that's you're looking at the result, not his actual skill.
No, his 12. He doesn't have skill. It's
Like
he's
Apprentice
doing a
doesn't
12
have the skill.
minus 5.
So
11 plus 14 plus 7 plus
I
12
stand
plus
corrected.
8 divided by is
So
38.
38.
Divided by 5 is 10.4.
no, we don't add Kudo.
No, you don't want to add Kudo? Okay.
So 38.
So 9.5.
I still like the
Round up,
idea
there'll
that,
be 10.
that somehow I've somehow strained something, and Balder, he's not here to defend himself, but Balder then ultimately just has to pick me up and put him on his shoulders.
All right, so Apprentice, you are struggling a lot, trudging through these woods. There is several times that you fall, you sort of roll an ankle, not enough to, cripple you or anything like that, but it slows you down a little bit. You have scratches all over you. The others that actually failed their rolls would have similar. Who else failed? Materius. No, Materius succeeded. So it's only Apprentice. So this has been hard. So you have leeches and all the horrible stuff. You will make 15 miles. I assume that you're going to follow the river.
Assuming the tracks follow the river.
The tracks
Yeah, we're following the tracks.
indeed do follow the river. So if you arrive here at noon, it will be after dark before you get to where you expect Wolf Village to be.
Right. Okay. And we don't have specific knowledge about where the Wolf Village is, so we can't exactly send somebody forward to reconnoiter.
Correct.
Well, we can make some assumptions. It'll probably the largest of the villages, if it is a network, is probably going to be on the river, because it wouldn't make sense otherwise. So it may not be too hard to find. Depends on what I'm assuming at this point that Kurgan is going to be the best sneaker out of us, and depending on his fatigue levels when we stop, might see if he can spot something downriver.
If it is that you're going to continue after dark, it is very dark. I think we determined no, we didn't determine it. So it'd be we'll say it's a -6 normal, but because you're in the woods, you're looking at about a -7, -8, depending on the density of the canopy and stuff. It is very dark.
Do you need to get some of those phases of the moon dice?
That would be useful. I wonder if does Wilderness Adventures have stuff like that?
I don't recall that being in there. They have random weather. I mean, honestly, you could just roll a D24 or D30, decide what day of the month it is.
Did we make
Actually,
a
you could
table for
probably
weather?
shorten that. It's 3 out of 30, so it's going to be 10. You could roll a 1 on a D10 for a full moon and like a 10 for a new moon or something like that. No, I don't know that we ever had a table for that. I've always used, in all the campaigns that I've run, it's always been real world calendar. So if full moon is 1, then that's going to be less than full. Not quite half, or a little over half, I mean.
So that would be. So you're looking at -7
Ish.
in the -7 in the woods. If you
Yeah,
want to continue
recommend,
after dark.
I'm going to be good for that.
Looking on the river after dark, well, as it gets dark, the river winds too much for you to be able to see too far downriver, so that if there's a village on the river, it's definitely not within sight of your current location when it gets dark.
Oh, I kind of meant for him to be scouting out like that, but that's up to him whether or not he feels safe doing that on his own. Does he have night vision at all?
Kurgan does not.
Really?
I have
Thought he did.
acute vision.
Well, it helps. Okay, I don't think anybody has night vision in this group, which is weird.
Kudo does.
Well, but he can't tell you if there's a village down there.
I'm able to. Kudo and Kurgan have like a. We can communicate with each other.
Not like that.
Apentius could try to cast an incantation on himself called Scry.
What does he need to make that happen?
Well, since we're not really moving, mostly just scouting, I think I could actually try to just do this as an actual sit on the ground and cast the spell without making like activating one of my auras.
After crying for a bit over his sore feet.
Exactly.
Okay, but he's going to need a specific location to send that to.
And then I could move it.
Okay. Well, it's worth a shot.
So I was thinking, do we have any sense of what direction that village could be?
Upriver?
I could start upriver
However-
by maybe 50 miles.
If you are following the tracks, they don't necessarily go to the river. They don't necessarily go to the village. So far, the tracks have been following the river.
Okay. Are we
Right,
wanting to go to the village, or are we just simply wanting to follow the tracks more?
Okay. We do not know what is here. So, right now, all we can do is either follow tracks or look up the river and see if there is a village up there. And if there is a village up there, we don't even know if that's actually Wolf Village.
I'm happy to use Scry and see if I can sniff or sense of smell, food cooking or smoke, that sort of thing.
Simple enough. Yeah, otherwise, I suppose Kurgan can poke around for proper campsite while you're doing that.
So I will sit on the ground, and instead of doing this as a spell that I already have on me, I'm simply going to start to generate this spell or this incantation. It takes 5 minutes for me to do this.
Scry uses normal range costs.
So for a typical casting, I'm going to put the I'll put those in the box here. Hang on. So this would be assuming that it's out to a range of 100 miles or up to 100 miles.
Okay.
Well, to be fair, we probably don't need more than 10 or 20.
So
I realize that may not be the break point.
Yeah, I'd like to start, say, at at maybe 25 miles and see if I can sense anything, and then I'm going to move it sort of in 5 and then out 10, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just some kind of search pattern.
All right, make your roll then.
Okay, so this is simply going to be the casting roll. It's not going to be the roll to attach it. I'm not trying to attach it. Sweet.
Damn. Right time for that.
Was there a second roll you needed to do? So, or is this just a single casting?
Yes, this would be a single casting.
Okay, so you get to make sense rolls as if you were in the spot projecting. Okay, so you don't have night vision or anything like that.
Yeah, if they have torches.
All right,
Torches
so
or campfires.
give me a perception roll. Doesn't need to be in the box or anything. You're probably close to there. And someone give me a universe reaction roll.
Terrius, your turn.
This is to see how much the terrain...
He's buggered off.
Okay, so the terrain is not blocking your line of sight. So in the distance, you will see the lights of a village, and then you can see that there's the lights of torch lights of a few satellite villages. As far as you can tell, it is along the river, or the sort of main source of light is along the river, and you've got what's it, 6 to 8 miles, but you can't see anything else. You only see the pinpricks of light in the darkness.
Okay. So so Penchus, as you sort of see him sit there, you can sort of see this strange bluish glow start to emit from his eyes because it is dark. And
does anyone get freaked out by magic?
No.
Berenike is not overly fond of wizards, but he's only half wizard.
Right. So Berenike will get up from the ground and say, "I see lights 6 miles hence."
Can you see into the huts?
Well, I can continue to do this. I guess I'd have to take another bit of time just to move my vision forward, but I'm not sure if it allows me to get that specific.
No idea.
I'm not sure.
My gut would say this is more about, like it says, I can project my sense of hearing, sight, and smell to any spot up to 100 miles from my current location. And then I can move it. So I don't know. It's unfortunately, it doesn't get that specific.
Well, the fact that it says you can move it, you just move it so you can move your sight into the village.
So how long can you maintain that?
You had a critical success.
Right, that helps, but
It says duration of 3 hours.
holy crap.
So shoot, man, with that, you could probably scour the whole village with your sight.
Well, unless you've got something better to do, I'd say start rummaging through all the huts and see if you can spot them.
Then you can give us
when
troop
it says
sizes, guards, etc.
when it says use normal range costs, is that for the purpose of casting the spell?
Yeah. So the spell, if you look down and it says typical casting, so this spell is already for 100 miles from my position. And then it accounts for the duration, and it accounts for the speed that I can sort of move that scry around.
Okay, so you are going to move yourself to the village?
Correct. But I think I would need to make more sense rolls, GM, as I shift and get into a new location.
Yes, give me a perception roll. Okay, so you will project your sense to the village. From what you can tell, everyone is going about their normal business. There is some fires You will see that there are some guards posted, but your vision's not great. It is night, so you see mainly silhouettes and see the activity of those that are in the light. As you move around the village, it does not appear that there are any women here, or at least not the ones that you're looking for.
Okay, so I'll pass that information on.
All right. So I suppose we can expect the tracks to lead somewhere else then.
Survival skill for a campsite.
So you're going to camp during the night? You're not going to push on?
Yeah, there's no reason to push on at this point.
Alright, so give me a survival skill. Failed roll means you can only pick one of the 3 elements. Comfort, lines of sight, and concealment.
Berninke. Which one do you want?
You making up words now? I'd say comfort, I suppose.
Comfort. It is.
So you guys will bed down for the night. You can scratch off 3 of your rations,
Right.
being your rations for the day. Are you, since you're in hostile territory, will you be having a campfire, or will you be dark?
No fire, keep watch.
Do we have a watch order?
Probably not yet.
Okay, so everyone's in
we
the
haven't.
watch list. What order do we want to put them in?
I honestly don't think it matters at this point. Unless Apentius needs sleep especially. I'm assuming that's not a thing here.
No, I mean, aside from just wanting to rest my aching body.
Yeah. Could probably take Kudo off that list. Well, actually he's got to be there to be on the formation, doesn't he?
Yep.
I believe so.
Yeah, we can just,
I just ignore that.
put him on the same watch as
No?
Ah,
He's still in the
never mind.
formation.
Very well. Yeah, just I don't know. Can we assign that randomly?
Don't think so. But I will edit accordingly.
We can do it manually.
So who's going to be first watcher?
Kurgan gets 3. Since Berenice, oh, Materius is on there now. He gets. Damn it! I threw the dice too hard. Materius gets 1. Me, I get 6.
So
Which
that
we've
would
only got
be
5, so put me 5. And it's Apentius or Balder. Balder gets 4. Apentius
Okay.
gets 2. Done. Anybody who's on watch, be ready for shit.
Okay, can I get a roll into the box from Bernice?
A roll on what?
Perception. If you have any bonuses for hearing or whatever, then please let me know.
I will have the helmet up so I don't have to worry about that. Perception, you say?
Or observation.
Too late.
Holy crap.
I take it did not go the way the GM wished it did.
Is that a crit?
I wish I had luck.
That could have gone either way. Could be really bad for us now.
Well, if he wishes he had luck, then that makes me think he got like a crit success.
Whoops, that was supposed to be hidden.
Yeah.
Well, since that roll was revealed, might as well show that.
Excellent. Well done, Berenice.
We'll never see that again.
Doesn't matter, you still lost.
Oh,
Because it's
God damn it.
contest. Alright,
That sucks.
I will get a roll of a d6 from everyone. The highest
make
will
a-
lose.
Oh
Need-
man,
You need
I was waiting for that.
you need to make a random PC table.
Should get Phil to export his, I think.
Well, it wouldn't work because his would be a
different
different
PCs,
set
yeah.
of PCs.
Alright,
Yeah,
so
actually, if you do that, what you need to do is get that tarot module. Is an extension, because that lets you set it to where it's an elimination table, and you can actually checkbox ones that you don't want to be on there. So like you could put everybody on there, but if you needed to do it without Kudo on it, you could just uncheck Kudo.
I should explain something that Apentius does have an incantation called Alarm. And this is one of these moments where it's like, if I had cast that, we may not have had this issue. But again, as we roll into this, the GM may be going like, "Oh crap! What are these incantations going to do to hang up the game?" I just say I have something I could cast when we do these campouts.
Okay, but then you'd have to cast them.
Exactly, which I'm happy to do. I'm just saying, as I'm learning about this grimoire that's even in Dungeon Fantasy, it's like, okay, yeah, I could start using that.
All right, so Materius, where is your character sleeping? Describe the location that you're bedding down.
He'd probably be leaning sort of back against a tree a little bit, sort of trying to nestle in between some roots. Sort of keep your back to the wall, sort of a thing.
Yeah, I know exactly what's going to happen there.
All right, so unknown to the party. Where's my thing? Did you get script errors?
Nope.
No.
Interesting. I wonder if that was something that got patched with the latest update.
Damn it.
Ugh.
Can't find the picture I was looking for. Now, there's a thing where anaconda or a really large boa can actually use a tree to help constrict a larger creature, like a crocodile, alligator, or something like that. So they'll
Give it
actually
leverage for
wrap around the
additional
tree.
force.
Well, this
Yeah.
one's big enough; it doesn't need to worry about that.
Materius, roll on the random hit location table for me, please.
Hit location, humanoid. Oh,
All right, it's not going to be to the vitals. All right, so Materius, unknown to the party, a giant snake slithers through the underbrush. Its tongue flicks in your direction, and it sort of comes up to the tree. The head sort of pokes up around the tree. It sort of looks down to Materius, who's, leaning back up against this tree, and then it just strikes at the midriff of Materius.
Ouch.
So I should probably roll, because it might do critical stuff.
Is it a constrictor or a viper?
It is a constrictor.
Well, that's good. No poison attack.
Unfortunately, this is going to hurt.
Impaling.
Them fangs. Them fangs.
That makes it a viper, not a constrictor.
Well, not according to the Dungeon Fantasy monsters.
Yeah, I think they're mixing their metaphors there. Whatever, carry on.
So it snaps on Materius' midriff. This will wake you up instantly, and you are being dragged back from around the tree back into the darkness.
Well, this is the last shift, so the sun's probably coming up by now, or nearly.
We will say darkness penalty will be at -3. So
Materius,
can't-
do you scream?
there will be much shouting of surprise and pain. Screaming is a strong word, though. So
You're
Are
so
you-
quiet, Materius. We don't know sometimes. Sometimes you just, take the pain in silence.
Well, that just means when he screams, it's very important.
which this is quite important.
Do you wish to spend a character point for a flesh wound?
It's impaling. That is quite a modifier,
That will be 12 points of damage unless you have some DR.
which I probably would not if I was sleeping.
I think there's an argument that if your armor is like leather, if your armor is flexible, then you could sleep.
You can
oh.
sleep in hard armor, but I don't know if there's a rule for it. Hold on. But go on.
Yeah, no, I'll flesh wound it.
All right, so you will take 1 point of damage, and lose that character point. You have to have a character point to spend, though.
Yes, I had 2 spares.
Should probably bring up a map. Put yourselves where you would be sleeping and where you would be guarding.
Well, we
Keep in mind there's more trees and brush
yeah, okay,
around.
that works. I guess that would be an actual tree that Materius was sleeping against. Berenike is awake, so he's probably where the fire would be.
I can actually add trees. This is awesome.
Yeah, but that depends on how you do it, I guess.
Can you add Kurgan to the map?
No, you don't get to play.
Is that everyone on the map?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. You recall what the size mod is up top of your head?
+3.
Roger. Yeah, hey. That's not bad.
There we go.
It's more of a giant fern, really. Interesting. So that's built-in stuff?
Yes.
Interesting. Guess I'm going to have to learn that soon. So, yeah, snake's over there. And currently grappling, I suppose.
Correct.
All right. And Balder is so dead asleep right now that he will not wake.
Well, everyone is awoken by the screams. Actually, if you don't have combat reflexes, make an IQ roll.
Kudo has combat reflexes.
Good God, man.
I know. Unbelievable.
You've had a hard day.
It's true. I'm quite tired.
So Pentius is the only one that doesn't have combat reflexes. All right. So at the initial scream of Materius, Pentius, you are not awoken, but everyone else is woken. I think combat reflexes means that you are stunned for this turn, but you automatically recover next turn.
No, we get a +6 on the roll to wake up. So I guess it's weird because they only say it here, but it implies that everybody gets an IQ roll to wake up, and anyone with combat reflexes gets a +6.
That's why I said only people that don't have it need to roll.
But it doesn't say anything about whether you wake up stunned or whatever.
So it sounds like we
It says
need to
something
wake
somewhere
up.
else.
I would assume that's like part of the surprise or whatever. Well, I'll assume that everyone is frozen for 1 turn, unless if they have combat reflexes, which you all do, so that's fine.
Oh, Berenike was awake.
Bernie, you're awake, so you can immediately jump into action.
And I shall.
Give me a perception roll. This will determine if you know what just snatched Materius. Okay, so you hear his screams. You see something in the sort of shadows moving back behind the tree, and I guess you can see the sort of silhouette of Materius's body flailing about, but you don't know what's sort of dragging him.
Right, but it's dragging him toward the ground, so it's probably not a tall thing.
He is being dragged along the ground, yes.
Roger.
So we'll start with Bernie.
Okay, so for 1 round, I am going to... Well, I do have a 14 dex. Okay, I am going to take the option to do a move and ready. So it's a dex -2 to basically pull the helmet down.
Were you standing or sitting?
Standing. Oh, good God.
Our rolls are getting worse.
Okay, so you will spend this turn doing your thing.
Actually, no. I think that means I drop it. I believe that means I dropped it. So no helmet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that'll get me over there.
All right, so once you get there, you will see.
Okay. Oh, there's a snake.
Actually, it is a +3 size modifier, so
Yeah, that's true.
you would have just seen it when you got there. So when you made your perception roll, you would have got +3. No, you would still would have
Yeah.
failed because of the light
That would have been
darkness. You would have got +3, then -3 for light. So you would have
Oh,
still
God
failed
damn
by
it.
3.
Never mind.
But now that you're right in front of it,
Now
you
I
can see a giant snake. I'll get you to do a fright check. You can add the combat reflexes bonus.
Is that really worth a fright check? It's not a combat reflexes bonus. You do that every time. It's an in combat bonus.
Well, this is in combat. It is a giant snake, and it is.
It is technically in combat at this point, even though, well, yeah, there is fighting going on.
But it is scary.
Did I make a modifier? I did. I don't know. It's just a snake.
Yeah, it's a snake that's like gigantic.
I mean, that's a big snake, definitely.
So is fright off your will?
Yes.
I take it we're taking a round and then we'll be back up to Kudo.
Correct. All right. The snake will slither back, sort of coiling around Materius. Still has Materius in its mouth. Materius, you're going to be stunned for this turn.
Alas.
And
Is,
Pentius, you can make another roll on IQ, I think. You're snoozing.
I'm so tired. Stop making noise.
Kudo is stunned for this turn.
No, he was stunned last turn. That's why you went to Baroniki.
No, he started because he was. Yeah, so this is your stun turn. Bernie gets 2 turns. So next turn you can act.
Should have done an effect. That would have been easier.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Too late now. Oh, damn. It moved. Come back here.
You can see that it's beginning to coil, while it's still got a hold of Materius, is beginning to coil its body around him.
Okay, well, that makes it easier to stab at, so I'm going to presume I've got the, I've probably just got the spear.
And it'll be, because of +3, -3, you'll be rolling on normal to hit this
It'll
thing.
even out. Okay, I don't think darkness applies to melee combat, but I'm not going to look that up right now. So is that correct? Okay, so he's kind of off hex there. So yeah, I'm just gonna. So it's probably not in a position where it can actually defend itself. So I'm just gonna basically take a nice good stab at it while trying not to overpenetrate. Spear. We'll call that 2-hand then. And right, I had to do a move and attack, so we'll do the fatigue for that one. And bypass. So I'm just gonna call that torso. Yeah. And telegraphed. Not that that's really necessary in this case. You know what? I'm not gonna bother with it. Just gonna roll it.
Do we actually have the hit location?
Wow. Vermiform, actually, I believe that is
Yes,
what that
yes.
is.
So the locations are skull, face, neck, and chest.
Right. But I went for the chest, so I'm assuming the chest is still valid. Not that I will get anything out of it. So, I have barely successfully stabbed at it.
Okay, do your damage.
Alright. So is 10 hit points going to overpenetrate? I presume that's not.
It is not going to overpenetrate. Okay. All good.
So we're still assuming we just woke up. We're now getting up to our feet, etc., etc.
So you did nothing last time, so now you'd be able to get up. Yeah, I would think that's correct.
So
Yes.
we're lying down. Now we have to start getting up. All right. So I am, and going from lying down to kneeling takes a turn, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And can we pick up weapons while we're doing that?
Sure.
All right. So I'm going to be grabbing my bow and an arrow as I get to my knees.
Okay. It's going to shift its grip on Materius. Materius, you may make a dex or wrestling roll.
Let's see.
Well, I think you can make dodge.
Well, wrestling. Yeah. Wrestling
Actually.
better.
Geiger, you'd know.
What?
In shifting grip, is it a dodge roll or is it a contest of wrestlings?
Contest. They're almost always contest. And those are almost always strength, dex, or best grappling skill.
Strength, dex.
Oh, if I can use strength, then strength would be better. Mind if I use that instead?
Go for it.
Yeah, something you might consider doing, seeing as we keep ending up in grappling situations. In my melee combat, I created a wrestling weapon, quote unquote. And under that, I include the grab and the contest. And you can go ahead and pick whichever one is more appropriate and just keep it on there.
Okay, so what the snake does, it's beginning to coil around you. There's like a couple of coils. It lets go of you from its mouth and is just sort of coiling. And its head now sort of turns to stare down Benike. And you manage to slip out of its coils as it's transitioning its grip.
Good news, bad news.
You may act this turn.
All right.
You won't have your weapon unless you slept with your weapon on you. Your weapon's going to be over next to the tree you were sleeping at. So over there.
Would he sleep? Yeah, I think he would if he's out in the field. Weapon bond, spear, and all the stuff he's got for it. I think.
Never more than an arm's reach away.
Yeah.
Never ever.
But it would have been on the ground. If it's a spear, it would have been on the ground where you were sleeping, like within reach.
That's fair. Okay. Then
So you wouldn't have had it when you got nabbed.
He could have been cradling it,
Yeah, that's fine. Let's do a universe reaction to see if you were cradling it and managed to get
+1 for
come with
weapon
you.
bond.
Wow, still an 11. If that, yeah.
Let's say it's on a neutral. It has slipped out of your grip as you're being dragged, so it's right at sort of Bernie's feet.
Okay.
So you can step and grab if you wish this turn.
I do. I wish to step in and grab.
Pentis, make a roll. Now you're awake.
Damn.
So Pentis will say, "By each time, will you all shut up? I'm trying to sleep."
You have no
Holy
idea
shit,
what's
what's
going on
that?
at the moment.
So is this Kudo's now first turn or second turn? What is it?
This
for him
is
now?
this is his turn. He can act.
He's going to it's a heroic charge to be able to move and attack without penalty, right?
Correct.
So heroic charge.
Well, the snake's not attacking you. What does he care?
And he'll go right for the throat. Because Kudo does not like snakes.
Well, it's not going to be hard for him to get hold of.
Okay.
Wow.
Do your bite damage. Is that
Back.
right that he has impaling?
Yeah.
Correct. Bite. Fangs.
Fangs.
I think it's cutting.
I think it's cutting.
No, it says 2D impaling for the damage. That's what I have on the character sheet.
Where did you get that?
It's the character that GM gave me.
So the GM created it? Then it's the GM's fault.
Teeth fangs.
Yeah, it's a friggin' saber-toothed wolf.
That's what teeth fangs would be. Otherwise, I think it's teeth.
Should be just sharp teeth, I think.
So it did not get the bane.
1 second while I just quickly check the wolf template.
Yeah, so if we were using the Fantastic Dungeon grappling here, then I think the way this would work is he would get the that bite damage would also be his control points. Because typically a wolf is going to bite to grab.
Correct. So it's latching on.
So he's probably grappling at this point. So I don't think
Yeah,
you need to do anything extra for that.
The template is incorrect. It's teeth sharp, so that's cutting, not.
That's correct. Yeah.
Well, that's still what, plus 1.5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
depending on how much gets through his DR.
Okay, so
Actually, how much does Kudo weigh? Or would you even have a guess for that?
So it's 58.
Really? 58 pounds.
I'm not sure what it is.
Seems like a wolf would weigh more than that.
Is it on the character sheet?
It says 58, at least for the encumbrance. I mean, I'm light.
Oh,
weight 58,
encumbrance,
but I
not
don't
that.
know.
Not encumbrance.
No, I don't see the weight.
Google's telling me between 66 and 180 pounds. I imagine he's not a small one. What's his strength?
17.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's going to be a big wolf. So,
Well, he's in comparison to an actual PC character because he's 100% of ally. So
yeah, I'd call him 180 probably. Give him the large size.
What difference will that make?
Well, depending on the strength of the snake, he may not be able to walk off with him.
This snake has strength 30.
What was it you needed?
okay, well, he struck and he's now grappling the neck.
Boulder's sleeping.
Ah! Okay, well, now there's a really large dog attached to its neck. Materius is under my feet grabbing at his spear. I think I'm going to try to get out of his way. I'm assuming the snake isn't actually draped out behind like that. He's probably still mostly coiled up around here.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Yeah, just for ease of use sake, I'm going to call this I can basically do a double step there, giant step to get around everybody. Fatigue point. And the stupid turn the token thing is still the wrong direction. And I'll try to stab at something that's not wrapped around somebody important. And just okay, so size cancels darkness and go torso. Wow.
Nice.
Okay,
Roll your things.
I will take that. I'm not used to having these things. Critical hit. Roll. Well, okay. I accept your challenge. Also, bam!
Hey.
Nice.
Where that is on a snake, I have no idea. Unfortunately, it was shit damage.
It was.
But if there was any penetration at all, it would be a major win.
That's true. Which means it's going to be a -5.
Okay, so the snake is going to be stunned.
Indeed.
Okay, Kurgan's going to be standing up to his feet and prepping his arrow. I can rotate when I stand up, right?
Yes. The snake will roll to come out of stun, which it does. Materius, you have your weapon.
I do. I'm going to turn around and stab the thing. Actually, let me... Da-da-da. Would the hit location modifiers be different for vermiform as opposed to humanoid?
You will not be able to target hit locations unless they are obvious. So
Like the face?
you wouldn't be able to target vitals because you have no idea where vitals is on a snake, unless you roll, I guess, that.
Well, I was more looking at face or
But
yeah,
face, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
Now remember, the face is really near the dog, so don't miss.
It'll be fine.
It's going to be a -2 because of the dog is in the same hex as the face.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Darkness and size cancel out.
darkest side set. Okay, then I will take out that, and that should do it. Excellent.
Do your damage.
It is not having any luck dodging today.
Ouch.
It's also at a -1 dodge for being grappled.
Pentious, I'm going to do an IQ check for him to figure out what the heck's going on. And if I may, I'd like to cast a spell.
Well, you're probably in the same boat as Kurgan. You just woke up, you're lying down, you now have to get to your knees and stand up.
Yes.
You don't have combat reflexes, so I think you actually freeze.
Well, he made his, well,
I made the IQ roll last time.
Yeah, but I think you freeze for a certain number of turns before you even make the roll.
That's true. We're talking about surprise here, aren't we?
Yeah. So is it a D6?
yeah.
Roll a D6. So you've spent one turn of. Actually, no. You spent 2 turns. Last turn and this turn. So 2 more turns, and then we will take that IQ as being an automatic success.
Okay.
Continue to weary at the neck.
Worry.
Worry at the neck. So
That
bite
is
attack or
no, that's basically the grappling do damage thing. So it's still a contest.
so wrestling or brawling or strength.
R-
I think it's strength.
Hold on. Oh, wrong page.
Well, my strength or my targeted attack, brawling, bite neck is the same. So strength or
So what's that? Okay, takedown, pin, choker, strangle. Other. No. I don't remember where that is.
I still
Okay,
think
well.
I think it's a contest of strengths. So make your roll. Contest of strength or wrestling, I believe.
That's right. I'm thinking of D&D there. Holy God.
shakes them off.
No, I don't think he comes off.
No, it just
This
means
does no damage.
Yeah.
But he can't move back either because he can't pull Kudo with him. So he's
Yeah,
kind
not
of still
quite.
stuck.
I think it's he has to actually spend a turn and do a contest to actually pull back.
Yeah, that's possible. I think. Assuming we don't stab him to death in the meantime. Yeah, I'm gonna stab him again and hopefully do slightly more damage this time. Jeez. Since I am attempting to stab him in places that aren't currently occupied with people being grappled, I'm gonna go ahead and do. Yeah, I'm gonna do all out strong on him. So that will change nothing. I just ended up rolling straight at torso. Good roll. He still gets his dodge -1. Doesn't matter.
Do your damage.
Yeah, you might feel that one. Oh, one more thing. See if I can. Hey, I did. I stabbed him in the same spot.
To map that one.
So he did knock his arrow, so I can fire this turn, right?
Hang on a sec.
He's doing math.
Major wound. He's stunned again.
I can fire my arrow this round now, right? Because last turn I stood up, knocked my arrow. I can now
Yep.
fire. Okay. And he's stunned. Nice. This is shooting for just the body.
Just to be a douche, is that tree in the way?
Nah. This is a big thing, so tree might be in the way of part of it, but not all of it.
Give me a moment. Gotta get my modifiers here.
You could just roll and then see if you need to work it out. So success by 7. That's easy going to be a hit. We'll get a dodge. Not likely to dodge. Yeah, it just means it's -4. Do you damage?
This is a bodkin point, so it's divisor 2 DR.
Can never remember. Does it round up or round down? I think it rounds up.
Are you talking about damage?
The armor divisor on DR.
Oh.
One
I
moment.
think it rounds up.
Yeah, I can't
And this is a chest trait, so let me see if it's a vitals.
I never could keep that straight.
Normal effect.
Okay. Your arrow buries itself into this snake around down. All right, so this snake is mortally wounded. Describe what happens.
So it dies.
It is mortally wounded, so it is dying.
So based on what was going on is, Kudo comes in, grabs the neck, basically gets allows Materius to get loose. Berenke gets in there and starts stabbing the thing. Materius stabs it, and then Kurgan gets the final blow. So this snake just starts to, all its coils just start to in shock, start to vibrate, and in its dying breath.
All right, the snake will eventually stop twitching and begin to bleed out from these massive wounds that it took.
I will go up there and kill it. Kudakura it. Take out my knife and basically cut off its head.
All right, this thing is quite large. Taking your knife to cut off its head, it's like cutting through the sort of trunk of a cow. Actually, probably not. Oh no, close to a small cow.
Might not be that big. Do you know how long that snake is?
I'm not sure.
Is it
It's
a
quite
50
thick.
footer? I think the Titanoboa at around 50 feet is like 3 feet wide at the widest point.
So it's probably be about 2 feet wide then. So with your knife, you still have to cut a fair bit, but you're messy and bloody after it. But you managed to remove its head.
Anybody want some snake meat? Good eating.
Yeah, we got breakfast again, I guess.
Can I use survival to harvest the snake?
Snakes. Why does it have to be snakes?
It's going to take a while to get the whole thing, I think.
Ventus will pop his head up over the log and go, "Well, what's going on?"
Go back to sleep. Everything's good.
You'll see Kurgan hacking this snake's head off. Right about now, the first rays of the sun peek over the horizon and pierce the canopy of the trees, and this scene is doused in a golden light of the sun.
And Ventus will go, "This is a really terrible nightmare," and go back to sleep.
It is kind of. Yeah, so we only had, half an hour before we were going to all get up anyway. And now we're awake. Materius may need some medical attention, if I'm not mistaken.
I have esoteric medicine, which counts for first aid, herbal based. So
It's just a little scratch. It'll be fine.
Yeah, how much damage did you take? Oh,
1
right,
point.
Flesh wound.
you flesh wounded that. Never mind.
But we might as
you
well
look fine.
treat them anyway.
Rub
We
some
can still
dirt
treat
in it,
'em.
you'll be fine.
Precisely. Dirt makes the best antiseptic.
Well, I'll put a herbal balm on you.
You don't want to get infection.
Exactly.
Reptiles are dirty.
So you
Didn't do that well.
You give him an infection or poison the wound. I think that will mean you can't find the ingredients.
Probably.
Yeah. So I look around, try to find the herbals that would heal you, and sorry, can't help you, man.
Damn it! I dropped my helmet.
I'll also collect my arrows.
All right, so you need to roll a d6 on a, I think it's a 1. It breaks. Actually, are your arrows fine?
Ah!
All right,
No.
so that arrow is broken. You can recover the arrowhead, but the arrow itself was broken.
Okay, I'll recover that. At least the arrowhead, because I might be able to use armory to fix it.
Yeah. Well, you can make another one out of it.
Correct.
So remove that one from your available ammunition.
Okay, well, we'll eat a really good breakfast and then see if we can't get that trail going again.
So you're going to light a fire to cook some snake, or will you eat the snake raw?
Cook, of course. I mean, it's now
Well,
daytime.
we are out. Well, it's almost daytime, and we are out in the middle of enemy territory here, so maybe we shouldn't, unless the survival expert knows a way to do the fire without giving away our position.
Smokeless fire. Camouflage.
Well, you didn't find a very good location, so you don't have any concealment here.
True.
Well, that's aside from being able to conceal the fire on its own. I have no idea how one does that, but whatever.
Well, we can always take the meat with us and eat our trail rations and cook it later.
Yeah, that'll get icky.
The smell might draw predators.
And that.
Well,
Yeah, that's
Fine.
just what you need.
No harvesting of the meat then.
so no fire?
It's better than game. He's the leader.
It's if you know a way to do the fire without giving away our position, then I'm good for it. Otherwise, let's not.
I could do a camouflage roll and then do a survival roll.
With your current location, you don't have any way to conceal, so I'll let you make a roll on survival to try and, you can't get a completely smokeless fire. That's impossible. Unless you're burning stuff that, doesn't give off smoke, but wood and whatever will always give off some smoke. So you'll be able to, I'll say that's an assist. So a -1 penalty to anyone spotting smoke if you want to do that. But you won't be able to hide it completely.
Well, you can be quick about it. I mean, we've got
Okay, so we'll cook up some
however
snake.
long it takes for.
We're gonna cook up some breakfast.
However long we have before the sun comes up.
Well, the sun was just coming up.
All the way.
Okay, so
cook up some snake for everybody and pass it out.
do you have cook?
No,
You don't need cook
you don't
for
need
that.
cook. You don't need.
Does anyone have cook?
I'm going to just jump in and say I have tried to cook rabbit over a fire. I don't know about snake, but man, it takes a long time.
So someone can make a cook roll to see how good you cook this snake. Is it charred?
It's
Still-
survival to cook food. Cook is for artistic stuff. That is an art skill.
Okay. Give me a survival roll.
I did.
Well, this is
That was
another
for your
one.
fire. Alright, so you'll
I've
cook up
got
this
some really
snake.
good snake.
And it's not too bad. The flesh is fresh. It's not charred. It's just right.
I've never had
Cooked.
snake actually.
Cooked to medium. It's chewy.
Yeah, we were in a hurry.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you can save one ration there. So when it comes to taking off rations, keep in mind that you had snake. Is anyone taking any trophies off the snake?
Only
if
if
I
I
can
can-
take one of the fangs, please.
The
Only
snake.
if I can sense magic on it.
There's no magic, but it has 2 large fangs, and then it has a whole bunch of smaller, sort of backward-facing teeth.
I'd like one of the two big ones if I could. If they're not too big, that is.
It shouldn't be that bad.
That's probably 5 inches, 6 inches sort of thing.
Oh, excellent. That is actually a perfect length.
It's a dagger in of itself.
Yeah, I was going to say, you put a handle on it.
Definitely
I'll
not
take
going to make
one.
it a grist knife. Nope.
I'll take the other thing, since I chopped off the head.
All right. Collect your fangs. You will start out again. I'll get the tracking roll, please.
Boy, Kurgan's been doing all the work here.
It's about time you did something.
I know, right? All right, so our current assumption is that the primary wolf village is not the location where the girls are.
And I will get perception rolls in the box, please. Vision based. It is no surprise that Kurgan succeeds by the most. Well, you follow the tracks for 2 or 3 hours. You imagine that you're probably 2 or 3 hours, or probably about 2 hours from the main wolf village. You will see that the tracks have departed the river and have headed more northerly. As you continue through the wood, you spy a small clearing, and then there's something in that clearing that is contrasted to the rest of the forest. Actually, I have another travel pick for you.
Nice.
So I see something ahead of us.
Give me an IQ roll.
Any pluses for skill checks or anything
No.
like that?
This is your identification roll on what you saw. Okay. You will see through the brush what looks to be man-made structures.
Do I know it's a burial mound?
I think Apentius would, at the very least, with his cultural familiarity.
So I would put my hand up indicating I noticed something, so the group would be quiet and turn around to look at Apentius and kind of wave him up. And I'll specifically point it out to him when I'm seeing so that he could see it, and say, "Do you know what that is?" Whispering.
Would you like a roll?
IQ roll. You are fairly certain it's a burial mound of some sort.
By Ishtar's sacred womb, this looks like a burial mound.
You move a little closer to get a better look.
Well, before we move closer, I mean, what does Apentius know about? He has the culture of familiarity of Picts. Is he aware of if we walk on this, are we violating, Pictish law or something like that, or tradition?
So I have occultism and thaumatology research along with the familiarity.
Give me a thaumatology. Sorry, not thaumatology. Do you have theology?
I don't have theology.
Do you have any sort of skill that relates to rituals? Not magical rituals.
No.
All right, so just give me an IQ roll at -5.
Swine.
Not today.
You don't know of any particular rites or anything like that with regards to burial mounds. You do know that each of the Pict tribes usually has a different burial ritual. And yeah, so some will bury their dead in different ways. But this is a burial mound of sort. You don't know if it's Pictish or something else.
I guess what I was trying to say is if we trespass in their territory, especially in a burial mound, and we get caught, are we violating tradition? That's more of what I was trying to get at. Not how do they bury their dead.
Well, it doesn't matter at this point. We're violating
we're-
our treaty
true.
because we're here. Is that where the tracks are going?
The tracks go nearby, but it doesn't look like they go directly to it. However, as you sort of maneuver to get a better look, because you're just looking through the trees at the moment, you do see there are a number of heads on pikes that are situated out front of the mound, and these heads are most certainly Aquilonian soldiers.
I don't think they like company.
You do not see any activity or anything like that there, however.
Should we bury the heads and
Good God, no. I'm sure they want them fair and square.
I think that means I did not feel my curiosity triggered.
Yeah, you didn't fail your. If it was 6 or less, you'd be curious. So
No.
you've just.
It goes the other
resisted.
way.
The other way.
Oh, it's 6 or more.
He failed, so curiosity will get the better of him.
Whatever
Is
that means here.
Is that true? It's 6 or less.
Yes. So the roll is the frequency of submission. So if you make the roll, you do not submit.
Or even if you make the roll, so like I had 12 or less, I succeeded by 2 of 10. I just decided to fail and use my bloodlust anyway. You can always choose to do that too.
But in this case, you can't choose not to be curious.
Right.
The dice have compelled you.
The power of dice compels you.
So Apentius will just almost naturally walk towards where the heads are on these pikes.
It appears that the heads have been there for a little while. They're not fresh, so they've been spiked here, at least more than a week ago. Could even be longer.
Hey, wait a minute. Where are you get up? I guess we're getting closer.
Do you want us to investigate the burial mound?
Not unless the tracks are going in it.
They're not.
Yeah, I don't think anything we want is in there. In fact, I'm fairly certain there's probably something in there we definitely don't want.
Knowing how odd the picks are, most likely.
May have to convince Apentius with the leadership role.
Just have Balder grab him.
Now, do I spy any entrance to this burial mound?
Yes. That is
So
the entrance.
naturally, you start walking towards it.
It is open.
As depicted.
And I start walking towards it.
Come on, we're leaving. This ain't our business.
All right, so a leadership roll will give Apentius another curiosity roll.
Yeah, but his curiosity is 6 or less. He's gonna very rarely make that.
Okay, so Apentius is going to say, look guys, you go on, I just want to check this out. Or he's going to find some way to get there unless you guys physically drag him off.
Yeah.
Balder,
grab him, will you?
So the Apentius is just going to say, oh, an entrance. Now,
Yoink!
this I have to see.
You should diplomacy convince the characters that this is important.
I really like that idea, so
Yeah,
I
but you
will
can't
do
do
that.
that with PCs.
Oh, I think you can.
You can. It's just the PC
It will have no
choose.
effect here.
The PC can choose not to be affected, but is it -3? Your rolls minus
Yeah, but it
3
won't.
or something?
There's nothing to resist. It wouldn't have any effect.
What if he's trying to convince you to, just stick around while he has a quick look?
What's he trying to convince us to do?
I don't know.
To look inside the burial mound.
Or let him look inside.
Obviously, we can't let him go in by himself.
Then he can come along with us because we're not going in there. We're busy. And come back later.
He's still walking to the entrance, boss.
Grab him. He's small. Pick him up.
Can
This is
Balder
awesome.
pick him up?
If you instruct Boulder to go pick him up, Boulder will. Does Apentius
I
reject?
I have instructed.
What does he
Come on.
object?
Come on, man. Stay on mission.
So Apentius is someone's going to have to convince him not just to stay on mission.
Well, you get
Roll leadership.
a leadership roll. We'll give you another curious roll.
If it gives
Can
him
we
another
assist?
curious roll, it won't matter.
Can we help him to to resist his curiosity?
Well, do the leadership roll first. All right. So, Apentius, you can make another curious roll. Unfortunately for you, you really want to go and have a look. So the only way you're not getting there is if someone physically restrains you and drags you off.
So Balder's picking him up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got to do a dex. We got to do something here. We got to do this.
Or Apentius can just run in.
Am I aware that Balder's going to try
Or
and pick
Balder.
me up?
He's got really long arms.
The order has been given for Balder to grab Apentius. Is Apentius sticking around to let it happen, or is he? What's he doing?
Oh gosh.
Unless he doesn't know it's coming, he can get it. He gets his normal defenses.
That's the disadvantage of having curious at such a low level.
Can
I'm-
Kurgan indicate to Kudo to try to block Apentius, get in front of him?
He can
I'm
try, but
also
Apentius
I'm
can
also
still.
selfless. I'm also selfless.
Well, if you have a conflict here, that's another matter.
So roll the selfless and see if that if you succeed with the selfless, you might.
Well,
get
selfless
enough.
means he will put the others' well-being ahead of his own safety.
So I feel like there's a classic conflict setting in Apentius's mind right now.
Do you have sense of duty, team?
No. But what I should do is roll for selfless.
What is your selfless act?
Well, it would be that I really shouldn't do this. I know the group wants to go forward, but damn it, I really want to know
Actually-
what's in this thing.
Selfless means you put the well-being of others ahead of your own. So you'd probably tell the group, "You guys wait here. Let me just go have a quick look by myself."
We have women to rescue.
Exactly. This is exactly what I do. It's okay, guys. I just need to look in here for just a second. I won't be a moment. Just carry on for just a little bit. And I just scoot.
The whores aren't in there.
I just scoot towards the door.
I'll have Kudo try to get in front of him and block him.
Yeah, all you got to do is fail that command, and Kudo kills him.
No, he won't kill him.
Well,
Kudo is actually a smart wolf. He's got a higher than usual intelligence.
Higher than what?
He's 6. He's got an
well,
intelligence. of
unless
6.
Yeah, it's
unless
still an
Kudo is
animal.
going to, someone's going to physically restrain him. Apentius is going to walk past, or Apentius is heading to that entrance. So the only way to really stop him is
I don't think I even needed necessarily to order Balder to grab him. I think Balder would have done that anyway.
this is a B.A. Baracus moment.
So wrestling for Boulder. Boulder's going to do a wrestling roll to grab.
Balder's an
Apentius.
NPC right now. He doesn't have to roll.
What do I have to do if Balder's going to try and reach for me? I'm going to try and want to get away from him.
Well,
Dodge?
You can dodge and then run. Let's see.
Ah,
He got you. You've been picked up.
Let me roll first. All right, so you've been nabbed by Boulder.
so Apentius is gonna extend his arms in a childlike way towards the door. Come on, let me go.
No, we don't need that sort of peril right now. You can have that later.
Let me go. Come on, just a little peek.
Kurgan will get back on the trail and we'll continue on.
Missing horrors this way.
You guys aren't any fun.
No, might not be fun, but we are alive, and hopefully we stay that way, and you do too.
And so, so Apentius is He's just going to drop his arms limply like a child and put his head down as he's carried away.
And sniffle.
Speaking of
And
which,
as we round the next hill, the camera pans back over to the barrow, and you see inside the glint of gold as all the piles of money are in there.
That big golden shiny sword.
and all the magic items. Shit, there was a roll I was going to get you to make.
We distracted you.
Perception?
Might be important. Never mind. All right, so you begin. You take a wide berth around the burial mound and continue on your way. This is where we have a cutscene.
Damn it! You led us into a trap.
Nope, not a trap.
Should have gone into the
Cutscene
burial
trap.
mound.
You led us into a cutscene trigger.
Could have taken
In the
shelter.
cutscene, you see this guy, Lieutenant Lucas. Actually, I think it's Lycus is the Latin way to say it. Or is it Lycus? I think it's Lycus. Lieutenant Lycus is talking to a figure that has his back turned to the camera, and you hear the words from this unknown figure. I want you to go there and search for this Pictish burial mound. There is an item of importance, and it should be there. I want you to find it and return it to me. You may have anything else you find, but the staff, you must return that to me. Let no one know, save for those you bring with you and yourself. Ensure they can be trusted and not utter a word of this to anyone. You will be rewarded well. You will get a nod from Lycus. He says, of course, I will do this and return. Lycus will then depart the room, and then there's a scene change to the lieutenant with a few men, or like four or five men, just soldiers, approaching this very burial mound. You will see that they will enter, and then the camera fades to black, and you then continue on your way.
Did anybody feel that?
Feel what?
You're pretty sure you had a cutscene,
Oh.
or you didn't experience the cutscene, but you have a feeling that someone saw something.
You know, I think Apentius was right. Maybe we should have gone to the burial mound.
No takebacks.
Oh, well.
Could have had a really great staff. Oh, well. And treasure. Who's to say we can't come back after we're done finding the girls? So let's keep this burial mound in mind.
Oh, that's what I remembered. Since you guys are actually in uncharted territory, does anyone have like cartography, any sort of map making skills? Because as scouts, you know, doing some cartography is a useful thing.
Yeah, we had that conversation last week, and nobody has that.
No, I have navigation land. I have soldier. I have survival. I have observation.
All right. So you're not charting, but you are probably taking notes, or at least remembering notes, since I don't know who can read and write and who has
I can.
who has the
I'm a
implements.
scribe. I'm a scribe. I have a scribe kit.
So you'll probably note stuff. In
That
the
we can
evening,
do.
you're probably trying to sketch a rough diagram of what the burial mound looked like.
With a little picture of Berenike with a stupid look on his face and says Berenike is a dummy.
That's right. What's the initials DA for? Pointing at Berenike. Dumb ass.
You continue to follow the tracks, and eventually you will come up on a village. Import that one.
Wow. Nice.
That's a bigger one.
It's actually got a moat.
It will be around mid-morning, coming on midday, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I should get navigation roll just to see how well you trek.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit later than.
Can I use survival woodlands to try to give me a +1 so it's succeed by 0?
No, that's probably not the skill roll anyway. You should have probably done hiking because you're not actually following navigation, you're following tracks. So yeah, it's almost midday when you come up on this village. There is obviously trees and stuff around, but you can see that they have some plots where they're actually farming, and they have fairly well established defensive palisade, including a moat which is mostly stagnant, muddy water filled with like lilies and moss and the sort of stuff that you'd find in a non-flowing body of water.
Kind of advanced for Pix, isn't it?
Picks to TL2.
So yeah, this is a bit of a different situation than before, because before the Hawk Village was on our side of the river, so we technically had authority. Here we don't, so we can't just walk in like we did last time.
So we have to sneak in.
I don't think we're sneaking in. We need to find out. Need to find out if the chicks are here.
Has anyone heard any bird calls, yada, 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 like we had the last time?
Well, the GM didn't tell us we did, or didn't, so no, we didn't hear any of that.
You did not hear any of that.
So we
Well,
haven't
that's
been-
disconcerting. I mean, that's really disconcerting.
So what is the terrain around here? Is this basically still all pretty thickly wooded?
It is, yes.
Okay.
The area around the village is a little more cleared, but it's still fairly heavily wooded. You could, use the woods as cover if needed.
Which we will at this point.
I should have mentioned that during the day and part of the night, you would hear distant drumming. This drumming, you would have learnt, is a means to communicate, and it's also just intimidation and stuff like that. But the drumming could be heard in the distant, which is not unusual. Every now and then you'll hear drumming from the fort.
Right. Okay. Well, anybody have any ideas?
What town
You
day
can
is
give
it?
me an observation roll if you're going to sort of scope this place out. So only the one observation.
Can I default that?
Yes, only the one.
Defaults to perception -5.
Yep, only the one.
All right. So Kurgan,
Just the one.
you're the only one that sort of gains any useful information. As you sit and watch, you can see that you can't see into the village, so that's sort of hidden from you. But you can see on the outside, people seem fairly relaxed. It's not like they're on like constant alert. There's some guards that sort of go around and do their thing, but they're not at DEFCON. Is it DEFCON 4? Or is it DEFCON 1?
I think
Can't
it's
remember
one.
which way it goes.
1 is highest readiness, 5 is peacetime, essentially.
DEFCON 1 is basically we're getting ready to nuke someone.
Yeah, so they're not at DEFCON 1. They seem quite relaxed. It's like, they're safe here. There's no need to have constant, heavy patrols and stuff. They're well behind their lines. That's not to say they don't have guards at all, but that's what you notice.
Berenike, would you like me to do a circle of the village to see if there's any weak points?
Suppose that would not go amiss. Otherwise, I don't have any better ideas other than to have Apentius do his mojo again.
Well, he could be doing his mojo while I walk around. So
He could.
Are you wishing me to scry the village, sire?
I suppose I am wishing that.
Okay. Question: do we have time? I mean, I can sit here and spend 5 minutes doing the spell like I did last time, or I can try and do it more as a incantation, sort of a magic slot.
I think the 5 minutes is fine here.
Oakley dokley.
Let's see, what would we be looking for? We're going to be looking for either the kid or the women, or just big gaggles of obvious Aquilonian slaves, I suppose.
is Kudo able to smell by chance any of the women?
No. But the tracks have led you to here.
Well, we followed the kid, and we're only making assumptions that he's involved.
Well, the kid ran all the way over here, so that's kind of...
How fast was he moving?
Well, when he was running, he was moving, speed 5, speed 4? Teenage?
I mean, he was running the whole way here?
Well, you don't know if he was running the whole way here, but...
You probably do if he's...
He was running at
foot
least...
tracks.
He was running... Oh, actually, you could probably tell if he was running. So there would be moments where he'd run, or he'd jog, and then walk. Jog and walk.
So he was in a hurry the whole way.
So I can do a perception check at this point. And basically, if there's a hut you're kind of wanting me to look into, or you just want me to kind of start moving around the huts?
I would probably start with whatever looks to be like the village center, the main governmental building, and just sort of work your way in a spiral out from there. If anything looks obvious. Oh, there's a ceremonial hut. Maybe that would work.
So perhaps, GM, what I'll do is use my cultural familiarity to kind of line up what I think would be huts of importance and sort of move through them, and then perhaps how many perception rolls you'd like me to make.
Yeah, the last one that we found, the only one that we found, was not in a place of importance. She was bought by just one of the schmoes that lived there, so there's no telling where we're going to find anybody if they're here.
So give me that perception roll.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm not sure how well it allows you to move around, as if you're walking around looking into places. I don't know what level of how that scry works. Does it give you a sort of clearer description? I'm assuming you can't go through doors and stuff.
So,
well, can you scry inside a building?
Yeah. So all it says is, here. Let me cut it. I'll cut and paste it again.
You might have to look at the paths that make it up there, because the paths might say, this gives you, whatever.
So it's based on strength and augury, which makes an unlikely event more likely, or vice versa, enhance or penalize native precognitive abilities, temporarily bestow minor divinatory ability, i.e. danger sense or intuition.
Precognitive, that would lead me to think that he could look into buildings.
I don't know what it really means by saying its utility is significantly greater than a typical information spell. Well, let's just assume for now that you can move around.
Yeah, because I mean, I can change the view to another area as long as it's within 100 miles of my current location. Takes 10 seconds per 10 miles. So, I mean, I think the impression here is that it's designed to be moved. It just doesn't say, like, are we talking about building to building here, or are we talking sort of in a 10-mile, 10-mile? I guess it takes a second to move that view every 10 miles.
Yeah,
Per-
it sounds
per
like
10
it
miles.
pushes you from site to site, essentially.
What it says is it uses normal range cost, not distance modifiers, which I believe the normal range costs are 1 per hex.
So for range, so what that means is that you're looking at the range in yards on the size and speed range table, and you read the size value to help you determine the additional spell point cost for the overall cost of the spell itself. It's not really connected to range per se. It's range is used to kind of determine what the spell cost will be for the roll.
Well, I remember that and I haven't looked into the RPM stuff, so I don't know if it's different, but I know in regular Magic there are 2 different range things. One of them is the long distance modifiers, which are the long distance modifiers, and the normal range costs are 1 per hex.
Yeah, and in this case, what they're saying is so for instance, your range here, again under typical casting, it just says range of 100 miles, which is going to give a cost of 30 spell points to determine overall casting.
It's more the granularity that that I want to know. Does this let you read a book, 100 miles away?
All it's doing is letting you project your perception.
So his perception level is projected into whatever building he goes into as he moves his scry around.
So does that mean he can read a book 100 miles away?
Why
Presume it
not?
does.
Or does it mean he can perceive the book?
He must make appropriate sense rolls normally, as if you were in the spot he's projecting to. So if there's a book in that spot, he'll be able to read it.
Yeah, one would assume that it's like as if I was physically there.
Okay. We'll play it like that. We'll play it like that unless otherwise. So you're going to go from building to building looking for these women?
Yes.
You failed your perception. However, I will give you a bonus for in plain sight. As you move around this village, is there a physical manifestation of your scry? Like a wizard's eye? A wizard's eye actually has a floating eye.
Yeah, no, it doesn't speak of anything like that. Again, when you're casting it, it says you need to make a physical gesture and utter a word. But again, the spell doesn't say that there's an actual creation of a thing.
Okay. So you will see that the women are tied up to the posts here in the village. They appear to be alive, and you will see one of the picked villagers will actually go up to the women and give them water to drink, but they are secured to these posts.
All right, so I'll relay that I see the women tied to the posts in the central area of the village. They're tied, but they're feeding them water.
Well, that's kind of good and bad.
We're going to have to figure out a way of potentially sneaking into the village at night and getting the girls out.
Let's see what Kurgan gets from his reconnoiter.
So Kurgan's going to stealthily go around the village. He's going to use some camouflage to basically get some brush and stuff and try to blend in a little bit more into the woodland surroundings. And then stealthily go around at the same time observing looking for weak points, maybe in the wall, trying to figure out a good place where we can cross the moat, and knowing kind of a general idea based on probably Epentinius maybe doing a dirt draw where the ceremonial post, seeing what the best place would be to try to get over the wall if we had to climb it might be, as he's going around and doing all this reconnoitering around.
Okay, well, I'll use your previous observation roll. So you'll see that
Add +2 to that because it's acute vision.
you'll see that the whole place is surrounded by a spiked palisade. So the tops of the palace or wall have been sharpened to spikes. They are about 3 to 4 yards in height. It sort of varies depending on where it is. The moat, like I said, it's kind of like a swamp. All sorts of, it's a stagnant swamp basically. It also has that odor of stagnant water that sort of comes off it. You can see that the people are fairly relaxed. The gates are currently open. The guards that do sort of wander around seem fairly chill. It's not like they're on high alert or anything like that.
So I don't notice any specific weak points in the palisade that might be a good place to get over if possible.
Mechanics wise, it's going to be a climbing -3.
With rope?
If you can get a rope over the top and secure it, then that gives you a -2, I think it is. Climb up a rope, I think, is -2.
Because I do have knot tying, so I can make the lasso, throw the rope and hopefully catch it at the top. Climb up. Well, after I finish circling the encampment, I'll get back to Berenike and report my findings.
Well, it's not going to be easy to get in there.
The good news is they don't seem to be on high alert, so we may just be able to sneak in, maybe across the bridge at night, or sneak up and incapacitate a guard if need be.
Maybe. I don't know how sneaky we are.
The bridge is not a drawbridge. It is a fixed bridge, so it can't be raised or lowered or anything like that.
They have a proper gate on it, though.
There is a gate, yes. Gate is currently open.
The Watcher's Hut, what is that?
It is like a guard post.
So do we notice that the guards seem to kind of hang around that spot? Are they walking around the village, or is there a patrol?
There is a patrol, but like I said, it's fairly relaxed.
What do you think of Berenike? Night ops?
You imagine, in terms of the village strength, there's maybe 30 warriors, and then sort of that again plus a half in women, children, old people and such.
Epitinius, when you saw the women tied to the post, were they chained up or were they tied with rope or leather?
Ropes.
What did I see, GM?
They were ropes.
So we don't have to break any chains. That's good. So we could just cut it with our knife.
Yeah, at this point, I don't have any other thoughts other than trying to sneak in. I don't know that we have any other way to do it.
Question is, do we sneak in at night across the bridge, or do we try to climb a wall?
Well, where were they tied up?
Ceremonial posts in the center of the village.
There.
We'd be a little closer to them if we climbed the wall, but we're going to have to get them out again, too, so...
You would also know that the wall doesn't have, or the palisade doesn't have the platform, the internal platform where people stand, but there are ladders that are not up against the wall. They're laying down along the wall at various locations.
So we could potentially ladder out. That's dicey, though.
Well, if we can get across, just a thought, but at the where it says ditch and palisades, that might be a good spot for us to get over the wall.
Well, yeah, that particular segment of wall is our shortest route. And if we can clear the wall without making a mess of everything, that's probably our best bet. So if we can
And since we got some time, do we have does Balder have an axe?
yeah.
Maybe we can drop a tree and make some logs that we can walk across the ditch with.
Yeah, I was about to ask how wide that ditch was. It's probably not that bad.
Because if we can get in, basically have Balder pull in some logs, we can get them across the ditch, get across, use a rope. I can get a lasso, tie it up to the top, get it up on a log at the top, climb up and over, put a ladder up, and then everybody else can follow, or even get two ladders and drop one to the other side. So we're just going up one ladder and down the other.
Yeah, maybe. All right. So is that distance correct now, GM? Did you get the
I think that's
grid
right,
squared away? Okay. So that would mean that the ditch is going to be 3 yards or so. So that means Balder could probably reach all the way across if he laid down at least. Yeah. So we bridge it. We scale the wall. We get ladders, a couple of ladders, so we can get in and out, or get over and back down on the other side. With the ladders, we should be able to get the women out. And we've got a fairly short distance there to clear. That's probably the best scenario we've got.
Okay. Scales right there.
Is it?
How close to
Near
the
enough.
woods would you say is where that ditch and palisades? How close are the woods are away from it?
Yeah. How much open ground do we have to clear to get there?
Say 20 to 30 yards.
So that's going to be a little uncomfortable as well. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a night up.
So I'll take Balder into the woods. We'll find a good tree far enough away from the village that we won't, make our and fell a tree so that the village won't hear.
Yeah, we can all go and get our bridge. That's not a problem, I don't think. We've got a while before nightfall anyway.
And
yeah,
then,
it doesn't need to be too complicated.
Kurgan's going to be probably at a point where we're watching that back portion where the ditch and palisade is, the arrow, looking at any patterns for the guards, how often do they cross and stuff like that.
There is no real pattern. You get the feeling the guards do their thing when they feel that they should probably do something, or get up and have a walk.
So, making a rudimentary bridge.
We just need a couple of good logs.
Okay. So, Balder will fall a tree, cut it up in pieces, and we'll wait until nightfall.
What kind of spells might Apentius have available to him to aid us?
Okay. What in particular?
Well, we have to climb a wall, cover a bunch of distance, and not be spotted. And then, yeah, a lot of sneaking and potentially distracting of or otherwise obscuring ourselves from guards that may or
Can
may
you
not
make
be
fog?
wandering about.
Okay. I could cast on each person who's going into the village that same thing I cast on Berenike, just to give them. Yeah, I can do that. If you would want me to try to generate something to cast fog into the village, I'm sure I could do that as well. It would just take me a moment to figure out how to do all that.
Not sure about the fog. That might draw too much attention. Depends on what the weather's doing.
I know that invisibility is right out, so we won't go there.
That's a shame.
Well, maybe fog is an option if we. Maybe there's a sign we can make that if we do get caught, he can generate a fog to help deaden our escape.
Yeah, it's
But
worth
if-
the.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, I can cast Twist of Fate on each person. Again, because I have the time to do it, I don't have to necessarily use this as a magic slot. Although I can, if that's what the GM wants, I can do 5 right off the bang bang bang.
How long does it last, and how long does it take to cast?
Okay, so because I'm an adept, the casting time of 5 minutes is reduced to, you read minutes as seconds. So I could just do a separate spell for each character, and it would just be 5 seconds of me preparing the spell and for each of them. How long does it last? It lasts. It's whenever they choose to trigger it. It's for the next hour.
So that should give us more than enough time.
So they'd have an hour to use it.
So what I'm thinking is what Beriankim, Kurgan obviously is going to go over. He's got to go in. Who else should climb the wall with Kurgan?
Oh, there's no good reason for anybody to stay behind in this case, with the exception of Kudo, who probably can't climb the wall.
And Boulder, who's right now an NPC.
I'm not going in without Balder.
I wonder
We
if the
won't
pictures
be
should
going
go
in today anyway. It'll be a next session thing since we're already at time.
Well, technically we got started really late, but yeah.
But yeah, I don't think a pincher should go in unless you really want him to go in.
That's probably fair, depending. If he had something that might be useful in words. If he had something that we would need in a hurry on the spot, then it might be useful to bring him in.
I take it we're going to pick this up next session.
Yeah, the execution of your rescue will have to be a next session.
Okay. Then I'm happy to cast the Twist of Fate on each character now, or we can do it next session.
Well, I guess it doesn't
I would
matter.
say just do it next session. Because we kind of formulated a plan on what we're going to do. We cut down 2 trees. We're going to bridge the moat, go across. With hopefully Balder will be playing with us now. Then he can come over with us. We'll get 2 ladders once we're on the other side. Put them over so we can go up and down after we get over. Get the girls, get them. Simple enough plan, but it all depends on our skill rolls.
Yeah, that's going to be a whole nother thing. Yeah, if we wait till next week to cast those, then we don't have to remember what we cast.
That's
Exactly.
probably better.
And I can then take some time to look at what it would take to create some sort of a misty thing.
Indeed.
If I had to blanket and blank the area.
All right, so are we happy to leave it there, or do we need to plan further? Or do you need, are there any questions that you have?
Well, the one thing I was going to, if we were supposed to do it tonight, Balder wasn't going to be coming over the wall necessarily. I was going to have Kudo be on lookout, and if he does see a guard coming, he can always sneak up behind and go for the throat to prevent the person from screaming. And then Balder could be potentially help me to get over the wall, so he can help me with the climbing since he's big enough.
Yeah, no, he could probably toss you over the wall.
And I have acrobatics, so that might actually be even better.
Yeah, but tossing over the wall is not going to be stealthy.
No.
It depends. If he can stick the landing.
I imagine it would be the equivalent of the moving while stealthing. So the -5.
Maybe.
I can almost imagine I could probably just stand on his shoulders and be looking over the wall.
I'm sure that's true. But yeah, regardless, we can make that work. No, I don't know that we have any other ideas at the moment, so no, there's nothing necessarily further to discuss.
Materius, do you have anything to bring to the table?
No, I think
though none of my skills are incredibly relevant. They mostly deal with just stabbing. So
Yeah. I suppose it's worth asking if, at least for next week's purposes, if we want to do some kind of tactics rolling here.
I could do tactics rolling now.
That's not a request from another player. That's a notice to the GM.
Yeah, you can do tactics.
I mean, if that's something you want to deal with.
We can do that. So you can do tactics and get what? Yeah, bennies.
Okay. Well, we can do that next week too.
That's good. I can increase my tactics to 11. Who's got tactics in the group?
I think I
Nick
ended
is
up.
the only one.
Yeah, I think I ended up being the only one with it.
I
And I
might
got
pick it up
tactics at
between
10.
the interim. I think.
What's your tactics at?
10.
I'm at 10 too, so
It ain't cheap.
no, it's not. So I may want to get my climbing up another point.
Yep. Cheese it.
Well, let's see. This time around, I've used tracking, survival, stealth, observation, navigation, esoteric medicine. Using a lot of skills.
You've been very useful.
Well, we're not locked in yet. If you have to make an adjustment.
Yes, as of next week when we start, characters will be locked in.
I think that's all we got.
I think I might get rid of my poisons.
Are you sure? Because when I poison you, don't you want to work out how to find out the antidote?
True. I wanted to use my poisons with my armory skill to make poison arrows.
Are you the sort of guy that poisons his arrows?
I do have bloodlust.
Bloodlust just means you coup de grace.
Bloodlust means you don't like leaving prisoners.
Doesn't necessarily mean you're out to want to kill people. All right, well, we'll leave it there. Everyone will get 2 points.
Okay.
excellent.
We will pick this up again next week. So, if you are watching this and you have any questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
Off we go.
Bye.
See ya.